What's up, everybody? Welcome to Narco Cop MMA, and this is the Dana White's Contender Series, Week 5. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host, Pepe. Pepe, what's up, man? I had a terrible week in the UFC this past weekend. Probably my worst week of the year, honestly. Reverse swept. I only had one money line bet, but just a lot of bad luck, man. Bad luck in the. I had the KO on. What's the Brazilian's name that couldn't KO?
Gabriel Santos.
Yeah, man. I had a big KO number. I had the fight doesn't go there. It kind of sucked, but it is what it is. That's how it goes sometimes. It looks like a great bet, but it doesn't.
I had a couple good cards. It's been a tough year, but as far as last time, the last week of Contender Series, I ended up down 0.4. But I actually think both of my bets were really good, but just one of them didn't cash. I had the over 1.5 in the Clark versus Dubin fight at I got minus 135. So, I mean, I'm paying minus 135 on an over 1.5 for flyweight WMMA fight. I'm going to take that all day. And I didn't see a massive grappling edge for either. Shannon doesn't really go for takedowns that much. She's more cage pushy. So I thought that was going to cash with ease. She landed a really sloppy overhand. It seemed to hit her perfect, whatever. And then I had the over in the Will Curry versus Santos fight.
Yeah.
I've been keeping a small slate for contenders just because there's a lot more volatility. There's a lot more questions. And I'm just trying to be more selective with my bets going forward.
Yeah, it definitely a lot of volatility. I only had one bet last week, and it was that Quillian Skillcat guy, Salkid, the Australian.
He's good.
Really
I was talking to Dogfather. I was like, this guy looks like the Australian Mike Trezano.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's going to be good in the UFC, to be honest. I think he's very, very skilled, has power, has a good chin. Good cardio. I mean, he impressed me. Honestly, Gage, they both impressed me, to be honest. I think Gage Young is going to be in the UFC too. He's just young, man. He's very young, so maybe needs a couple of more fights and stuff. But I think both of them are going to be in the UFC.
Yeah. So I think that was a good bet, but it wasn't without sweat either. Because
he was coming on.
It seemed like Gage was coming on in round 2.
Yeah.
He rocked him a bit. So, I mean, I was looking at the live lines a little bit and I was like, listen, I don't want to get involved with this fight at all. It was a good, fun fight. Last week, finally the big underdog started coming through. I mean, the WMMA one, 10-1, that was great. Santos against Will Curry, and then the Asian guy in the main event.
Will Curry's so bad, dude. So freaking bad. It's unbelievable. He has not changed. It's crazy to me that the guy has not improved his striking whatsoever, bro. The guy looks like an athletic freak, his body and everything, but he just doesn't learn how to strike. He just doesn't know how to strike at all. And that Brazilian, to be honest, he looked better than tape. He stuffed the takedowns, but I don't think he's anything impressive.
What I will say is I was impressed with his hips, dude.
His takedown defense, yeah.
Because Will Curry got in deep a couple times on his hips. I was like, wow, that was a great entry. He's going to go down. And then he was.
But his striking is not all that.
I mean, if you have that good of takedown defense and forward pressure and good cardio and durability, it can win fights. So,
yeah, I don't know. For me, I kind of marked it. I have a note on him that I'm going to fade him against good strikers. I don't think I don't think he has a lot of pop in his hands either. For that division, I don't think he has a lot of power at all. So yeah, let's move on here. Let's start off week 5 here with the first fight of the night. It is in the women's flyweight division. It is the 8-4 Corinne Lamframboise versus the 7-2 Nicole Caliari. Kick us off here. I think the line currently is about even money.
Yeah.
Caliari has taken a little bit of money here. I see, it's about 115 a piece, 125 for Corinne on some spots. Yeah, what do you see here?
Okay, so I saw a fair bit of money start coming in on Caliari. She got down to minus 120, and automatically there's been some buyback on Corine's side. And I'm going to retape this one because I like betting on the women's fights, and it's the closest line fight. And I think, I like betting on even money odds range fights, and I like betting on the WMMA fights. So this one's got my interest. I was initially thinking Caliari was going to be the side just because she's a lot younger. She looks to be in better shape. And Laframboise, she's coming back off a long layoff. She had a kid. She's 35 years old. But I don't know. I still need to do more tape because originally I think I was thinking that Caliari was going to be able to pace her. Her striking is pretty solid. She's only 27. She's got pretty good pace, got pretty good durability. Both of these girls, their losses are pretty respectable. Like Caliari losing to Kate Hansen 4 years ago. I don't think that's a bad loss, honestly. Kate Hansen was one of the brightest prospects of Invicta. I know she showed a huge hole with being able to be taken down, but Karine's not a great grappler, to be honest. And she can be taken down too. And I think her takedown defense is quite bad, honestly. But Karine, it's hard to get a really good read on her because in some fights she wilts, and her cardio doesn't look the greatest. She got finished by Jamie Lindhorth and Manon Fiorot. Obviously, you don't really mark the Fiorot fight as like anything because Fiorot is potentially the best flyweight in the world. And she got dominated, but whatever. The Horth fight is not a good look because she gassed out and got submitted. And this Brazilian girl seems to have really good pace. She seems to have a bit of dog in her. But there's certain fights where when Karine is able to be the hammer, we'll say, the more alpha fighter, like the fight against Holm, I kind of liked what I saw from her. Her striking's not as bad as I thought. She's got a pretty good overhand right. She's tough. She goes forward. She throws a lot of volume. So I think this is kind of a hard fight to call, to be honest. So I'm going to do a little more tape. The 27-year-old Brazilian, she looks like she's in phenomenal shape. She looks stronger than she has in previous fights. Yeah, she might be on something. But you could see her abs like fucking popping out, bro. She looks very tough. So I lean Caliari, but it's one of those fights I have to retape and comb through all of it before I make a play because I think I want to get involved in some regard. What do you think about it?
Yeah, so one thing you didn't mention, I don't know if you saw it, or maybe you did and I missed it, but Corinne is coming off of a pregnancy like 4 months ago.
4 months ago?
Yeah, bro. She just had a baby 4 months ago, man. A little over 4 months.
Oh, I thought it was longer.
Maybe 5. It was very, very recent. Well, so listen, she was signed to Contender Series last year this time, and she popped to being pregnant on her blood test. That's how she found out she was pregnant. And, 6 months later, because she was 3 months pregnant, 6 months later, 7 months later, whatever, she gave birth. And, bro, it like takes time for her to get back in the gym. She's only been in the gym probably 3 to 4 months max, like just coming back. The other thing is, bro, like she's a little bit older too. She's 35. She's nowhere near as athletic or fast as Caliari. Like Caliari is way faster. To me, she looks a lot stronger too, Caliari, even though she's got terrible hips. Let's say it that way. Like her takedown defense, Caliari is very, very bad. The thing that you mentioned, which is very true, is I don't think this girl has good wrestling, this Korean. Her takedowns are coming off body locks and trips, right? So wrestling is really not there. The other thing I notice about this Korean chick is she gets reversed quite a bit in these fights, man. For being I looked at her Instagram. She's a no-gi world champion, IBJJF world champion at the brown belt division, this Korean chick.
Yeah.
For being that highly skilled in jiu-jitsu, she gets swept quite a bit, man. And she got subbed in that one fight, which is a terrible look, obviously, against Jamie Lynn Horth. She was put in a bad spot against this Hermanson chick as well, where she almost, that rear naked choke was in very, very deep against her. She fought out of it. Props to her. But again, that's a bad look for her. I missed the good line, the nice plus money on Caliari, honestly. And it feels like if I bet her now, I'm chasing. So I'm probably going to attack a prop here.
So
whether it be fight doesn't go, because I honestly think she can hurt Corrine on the feet, but I also think Corrine can sub her. Yeah. Or even Corrine can get subbed, to be honest. Either or can sub each other. So for me, it's like kind of binary in the sense that if it's standing for long, I think this chick is going to piece up Corrine bad. She's going to be way faster. She has way more power. And yeah, I just think I missed the line, and I feel like I'm going to chase it now when it's like even money. I just don't feel right betting it now, And yeah, sometimes you say, oh, well, if there's still value, if you still think there's value, then you play her. But the problem is the takedown defense, right? Like that thing that I mentioned in my mind is even her last fight against that 39-year-old, she got taken down pretty fucking easy and into side control, So it worries me. Like she doesn't have great takedown defense. Her boyfriend is Marcel Ador. He's like a good fighter, a Brazilian fighter. He's a black belt. That's her boyfriend. And I'm pretty sure she's improved some, but still not enough for me to see on tape where I trust her not to allow a takedown, So I'm passing on this fight outside of props. I'm going to look to attack props once they open on domestics. But yeah, outside of that, I do think I lean Brazilian here. I lean Brazilian.
Me too. I'm looking now at Instagram. Karine has been a black belt since 2022. So
yeah.
But the thing is, how often does she really grapple on tape?
She does. She grapples a lot, actually. Karine, okay. She grapples almost every fight. She tries at least. At least she tries.
I still have to finish all the tape, but I was just watching the home fight on the UAE Warriors, and she didn't shoot any takedowns, and she got taken down like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, the home one, and I think home is terrible.
She sucks. Yeah,
sucks, and she won a split. I don't think it should have been a split, to be honest. I think that was kind of wrong. But still,
yeah. But Karine gassed out too and was bad.
And that's the other thing, Pepe. In my mind, I'm thinking this girl's been out for 2 years. She's 35. She hasn't really been training. She just had a kid. She was gassing before when she was training.
Yeah.
I mean, what's there to like? It's possible.
Is she still breastfeeding? Like, what the fuck?
I don't know. But she's a new mom, honestly. It's
how
kind
long,
of a red flag.
I mean, you have kids. How long do the women breastfeed after
it depends. You can go on for a couple of years if you want
to. But like, what's the standard? Like
probably 6 months.
So she's still breastfeeding. Like her hormones have to be all over the place.
Who knows? But some women don't breastfeed, or they can't.
But then also, you have kids, so they wake you up in the middle of the night all the time. Like her sleep schedule has got to be.
There's no way. There's zero chance that she's having a normal sleep schedule.
So it probably takes like a good 9 months to a year before your sleep.
Easy 9 months, I would say, easy.
So
easy. He
said it was 6 months ago that she had a kid.
Yeah. And then think about, your kid, it's not like you can just come back. Oh, I can fucking work out the next day. It takes a while. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The whole body has changed,
Yeah.
You slowly have to come back to even just kind of like using straining, you cannot really strain that much.
Yeah. So I knew that she was pregnant and she had a kid. I didn't realize it was so recent.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
It's crazy. That's what I looked at. I'm like, how is this girl fighting already, bro? Like, look at she's with the infant 20 weeks ago. You could see the baby. It's got to be like a week old there. 20 weeks ago. I mean, 5 months ago.
Yeah. So she's still breastfeeding.
Most likely.
Yeah, that's crazy. Obviously you can't bet her.
No, so absolutely.
It's a huge red flag. It's definitely
bet her.
Yeah, I'm gonna retape this one, and it's Caliari or pass.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, so I leaned overs, but the thing is, I wouldn't play the overs here because I think Lafram has too many question marks with just coming back, and she's been finished in round 3 2 times already. So I could see her getting overwhelmed. Maybe the ref steps in early. I don't
Yeah.
know.
All right. Let's move on. Fight number 2. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 9-0 Otar Tanzilov versus the 7-0 Josias Musasa. I can kick this one off. I have a bet on this one actually at plus 190 on the Musasa side, and not because I think he's like some great fighter or I don't even think he's very technical when it comes to striking. I don't think he has any type of grappling, to be honest. I didn't see any grappling on tape. But the guy has clearly huge power. I like his inside leg kicks. They're very hard, man. I mean, his inside leg kicks are very, very nice. But the thing I really like about him is the pressure he puts forward. He's a pressure fighter that tries to back you up to the fence and then unload on you, right? Obviously these EFC guys are hard to tell, like, because they don't face really good guys, but this guy's 25 years old. He just started. It seems like he just started fighting 2 years ago because that's his first fight in 2022. So he's been kind of busy, and he's got knockouts in every single one of his fights. The one fight that dragged out to the second round, he got dropped twice in round 1. Obviously not a great look when I'm betting on this guy, getting dropped. But that Diata guy he fought, I think he has good boxing, honestly. Like, I watched his other tape. He's got pretty fucking good power too, that dude. So, he landed, he hurt this guy, but this guy survived, came back and dropped him in the same round. And the athletic ability of this guy, bro, there was one takedown. I don't remember what fight it was. The way he fucking got up was insane. I'm like, this guy's a freak. Like, he's just genetically a freak. Like, he just can get up. He's so strong. And then I watched this Otar guy, and I think he's a very good striker. Don't get me wrong. I think his kicking game is really good. Very good knees, good shots to the body. He kind of reminds me of Giga, a poor man's Giga. And
he's Georgian.
He's Georgian, and he reminds me of Giga a little bit, right? But there's one thing that I did not like, and this is the main reason why I played this Musasi guy. If you watch the one competitive fight against this Eduardo Diniz guy, the Brazilian guy, that, it was a questionable stoppage in round 3. I don't even know why the ref stopped it. Anyways, in that fight, he's getting backed up to the fence. He's getting landed on against this dude. He just doesn't look comfortable, He's the type of guy that if you're backing up against him and you're going to allow him to dictate the pace and kick you, he's probably going to pick you apart. But if you pressure him, it's a completely different fight, dude. And it looks like he's gassing. His mouth is open. All kinds of shit going on with him in that fight. And watching Musasi, that's all he does is pressure forward and throw big shots, man. And I mean, from watching the tape, I know he's not fighting the best guys. He just looks like he has crazy power. So for me, it was kind of like an easy click. I don't think this Otar guy has great hands. I think it's his kicking that's very good and his knees. But yeah, man, I took a shot on the plus 190, kind of unknown 25-year-old that looks super athletic, has a ton of power, but he hasn't faced nobody, right? So I'm kind of betting it on power. Hopefully he pressures like he usually does. And I kind of think he can maybe find this guy's chin, this Otar guy. So yeah, I mean, that's basically how I see it. I think maybe Otar 160, 170 is fair, but I don't think Otar 240 or whatever 230 was fair.
Yeah. How is that Denise guy any good? I mean, he looks decent, right?
He's okay. I mean, he
moves pretty well on the feet, but
nothing special though.
Yeah, his record's not that good. So for me, there's just too many questions for me to get involved from a betting side. I will say that it kind of seems like he's a popular underdog, and I do get it. He does seem to have some good physical traits, but like Cavalcanti last week, these guys who haven't been in extended fights and are fighting really poor level of competition and getting early finishes. I don't know. They usually don't pan out that well, but I do get taking the dog shot just because, his upside. But Otar he looks okay. He's not that impressive to me either, honestly. I don't really like his game at all, to be quite honest, but he's faced the way better guys. His cardio doesn't even look that good, but he's been deeper in fights, so it looks like he's in better shape too. He's training in Vegas. So all in all, we don't know enough about the African's grappling, his defensive grappling, how he's going to look if he's put on his back in round 2. And with him being a popular underdog play, I think I'm just going to stay away and completely pass on this fight. There's too many questions, and I don't want to be involved.
I just want to mention one more thing. He had a pretty big, some type of thing on his back. I don't know what it was.
Who?
That Otar guy. And, I don't know. Again, I don't know what it was. It could have been anything. It could have been fucking a zit or whatever. But if you kind of put 2 and 2 together, you might be able to come up with some kind of
because Merab has staff and he's training with Merab. That makes sense, dude. I mean,
it's just the theory that I came up with.
People fight with staff all the time.
Yeah. I mean, but listen, if you're supposed to take antibiotics, I'm pretty sure he's taking antibiotics if he has staff.
Yeah,
and they zap you, bro. You cannot
for a couple days. I mean,
you got to take it more than a couple days. I think it's 7 days. It's like a week. And it takes you a while. I mean, listen, I'm not saying it's going to harm him. I don't even know if it is, to be honest. I don't know. Yeah. It could be anything. But I'm just saying I kind of thought about it, maybe.
Yeah, I know Merab allegedly had staff. And
that thing on his arm is staff, bro. There's no ways around it. I mean, if you look at it close, it's healed. It's healed now.
You think that's why some money came in on O'Malley? Because I noticed right after that,
a lot of money.
Money started pouring in on O'Malley right after they were talking about that.
It's a very liquid fight. So even 30 cents, 40 cents movement, it's a lot.
Yeah, because these lines have been out for a long time on the main event.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, who knows? I don't know. Even Cody Steele is from that gym. So
oh shit.
Yeah, let's move on here.
Yeah.
Fight number 3. It is in the middleweight division. Sorry. It's a 7-3 Yusri Bulgari versus the 9-1 Taga Iwasaki. You can have this one, Pepe. What do you got for us?
I don't have anything on this one, man. From what I gather, I didn't tape this one in full transparency. There was a lot of cards last weekend, and I made sure to get to all those cards, and I take my time and make sure that I do full tape. So full transparency, I haven't taped this one, but I know from what I'm gathering, it's a squash matchup, and I know Yusri was on last season, and he lost to Tulio. He got grappled, but from what I'm gathering, it's like a levels fight on the feet and kind of a squash matchup. So sorry, I don't have more than that, but the odds reflect it.
Bulgari had Lyme disease a day or two before.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I mean, I think that's why they gave him, another opportunity. He fought with Lyme disease and didn't even get finished, bro. He's tough, and yeah, I mean, this Japanese guy, I don't know why he's here.
Yeah, he trains with Pereira. He looks the part. He's a handsome 6'5", light heavyweight.
He's one of those kickboxers that they love, right? The kickboxer. He fucking beat Alex.
He's
Pereira.
Like Carlos Olberg.
He beat Alex Pereira in kickboxing. He also lost to him, but now they're best buddies but his striking is good, man. And this other guy is supposed to be a karate black belt. If you watch his tape, all he does is clinch. It's like, hold on a second, you're a karate black belt. Why are you clinching every time?
Yusri is huge for 185.
Oh, dude, he's so tall
I
compared
don't
to this
know if
guy,
he's
too.
going to be able to keep making 185, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he made it here. So
Yeah, he's fucking
he
6'5".
he made it against Tulio too, if you remember. That was 85. But yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. This guy's minus a million now. What is he? 600? Yeah, he's minus 679, 600, 650. I just think he's gonna probably finish this guy. It's a matter of
what the fuck? Why
is
is
it gonna
Why is the under plus money?
well, because if you watch the other guy, he does a lot. That's what I'm saying. He does a lot of clinching, and he fucking will burn the clock just by trying to clinch you, you know? So that's the only reason why the under is that way. But I mean, on the feet, he should kill this guy, dude. Absolutely kill him. And he's got a lot of power in his stepping knees and strikes. Like, he's a good striker. So
I'm gonna see if Big Steve bets the under, and then the over will cash by 10 seconds.
Where's Big Steve? I think he took off already. He came to say hi and make fun of you, and,
yeah,
and
exactly.
then he took off.
Hi and bye.
All right. Fight number 4. It is in the wow, this is in the freaking lightweight division. It is the 6-0 Cody Steele versus the 12-3 Kamil Ottani, and I will kick this one off. This Kamil Otani guy, I mean, he has that little win over Alex Pereira years ago. And what's funny is he's a black belt, but he was getting out grappled by Alex Pereira in that fight. He got his back taken a couple of times. Alex was going for rear naked chokes. It was funny because you wouldn't think Alex is doing that in an MMA fight, but he was. But one thing that really stuck out with this guy is, man, he's fucking tough, man. I mean, some of those shots he took. Did you watch that?
No.
On that? Dude,
no.
He took probably 10 bombs from Alex Pereira and not go out. Can you believe that? Like, he got nailed, and I couldn't believe he's taking these shots from Alex Pereira.
What division was that at? Middleweight?
It was at middleweight, and he came back throwing hard against Alex Pereira. Like, he bit down, man. After he was getting fucking destroyed, he bit down and threw back, and even landed on Alex Pereira. So if there's one thing I could say about this guy, he's tough as hell. Now, I watched this Kleber Sosa fight, and do yourself a favor and watch that fight and tell me if that's not fixed.
That's so long ago too, though.
Dude, the guy, he gets submitted with no guillotine. It says guillotine. He's going for a takedown. Mm-hmm. He is going for a takedown, and all of a sudden collapses.
You think he threw the fight?
I don't, dude. That's the only thing that makes sense. Unless he had a heart attack in the middle of the fight and just collapsed. It was the weirdest thing ever. But, you know, the Wilker-Lamos fight, it was not a great look. He got grapple fucked really bad in that fight, and then he got subbed. Mm-hmm. And the big red flag is Cody Steele is a very good grappler, right? Mm-hmm. He's a really good jiu-jitsu guy. He's a very good grappler. And if you look at that tape on that fight, he looked awful in the grappling. Like, he was getting absolutely dominated. I don't know why or, you know, what the reasoning was. But the one thing is he's fighting at 55 now, man. This guy was fighting at 85, out of shape, looked like dog shit. He looks like he's in great shape. He did this camp at Fighting Nerds. We already know what the hell is going on there. You know, these guys can't lose at the Fighting Nerds, bro. So I'm kind of leaning his side, to be honest. I haven't made a bet, but the Fighting Nerds thing I like. The fact that he looks huge at 55 compared to Steele. I mean, he's a big dude. You know, Cody Steele's thick.
Steele's a good wrestler, man.
Cody Steele's a very good wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's a good grappler, you know, in jiu-jitsu. So
his striking's not that bad either. I mean, for being a grappling guy, I mean, his striking is decent.
I don't know if he could strike, if he can knock this dude out, though, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about knocking him out, just holding his own.
He can. Yeah, this Otani guy's nothing special on the feet. All he does is throw big shots. He's crazy. He's a madman.
Yeah. Okay. So he's been okay. And Dos Santos, Asio, you know,
Ocasio,
yeah, you know him, right? He sucks, dude.
He's
so
not good. He beat him a long time ago, though.
Yeah, it is, but we only have so much to go off of.
Yeah.
55 is definitely probably seems like the weight class for him. What's the over-under on this one?
It's not very good. It's juiced to the over pretty bad.
It's only 1.5 though.
Yeah, it's 1.5. It's juiced though. 205.
Do you see Steele getting a finish?
I mean, grappling wise, why not?
Submission?
If that one Wilker Lemos got
Yeah.
him by rear naked, I'm pretty sure Steele can get him.
Okay.
That's what I'm afraid of, you know?
Does Steele have good cardio though?
I mean, yeah. I mean, so the one fight I have that it was a lot of grappling was the Sam Kilmer fight. It was a lot of grappling back and forth. And he pretty much held his own in that fight. Yeah. I mean, it was a close fight, but he held his own. And Kilmer's kind of a big 50 was that at 55? Yeah, I think it was at 55.
Yeah.
At 60 catch weight. But Kilmer's a big guy for 60, you know, and he can grapple. So I don't know.
I got to do a little more research. What belt level is Otani?
They say he's a black belt. He's a black
belt.
But I don't know. That Wilker Lemos fight just turned me off with how his grappling is, man.
So how does this fight finish under 1.5?
Steal by sub.
Okay. Do you think he doesn't really look like that?
Steele?
You know, that dominant of like a grappler where he's just gonna run through him though.
I mean,
I think
his
wrestling
he's an 80cc guy, man. Like
but like, I mean, how many round one finishes does he have?
Not many.
I was watching the Nico fight right before I got on, and I mean, like, his wrestling looks good, but it's not like anything crazy where his jiu-jitsu looked like crazy good or anything.
Yeah, remember though, he's kind of green to MMA, right? He's been
he only has one submission.
Yeah.
So he has 6 fights, 1 submission. So 5 times he couldn't get the sub. I don't really think he's just gonna run through Otani and get a really.
I think the over 1.5. It's minus 200. I'm not laying that. It's too juiced for me. I can't lay 2 to 1 on that. You know, and the way Otani fights, he's a madman, man. He's an absolute. Watch his tape. He's an absolute fucking madman. So
Steve said the biggest risk would be Otani.
Otani KO. Yeah, it's possible. He's a madman. I'm telling you, he fights like an absolute. But I also think he can get sub, man. So I don't like how he looked.
The biggest question of this fight would be Otani's current takedown defense at 155. But I like Steele's wrestling. It seems really solid, and I don't know. I like the overs theoretically in this fight. I don't think I want to pick a side.
I think Steele is pretty tough too. I don't think he's like some guy that's gonna just quit or anything. He doesn't rub me that way. You know, he looks pretty damn tough. So, yeah, I mean, that's one way I looked at that. So I looked at that Otani decision. I don't mind Otani decision. It's huge, but is it out on?
What if Steele gets his takedowns and he's getting his grappling going? Isn't it pretty plausible that? Why isn't it? What about GTD?
I don't know what it is. I haven't looked, to be honest.
Plus 140.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It could be GTD. It could be plausible.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna wait for domestics, dude, because I want to see what the over 2.5 will be.
I think people are probably mentioning Otani decision because it's plus 450 and Steele decision plus 215. So
Otani coming off a pillow fight, FC battle with Marcus Perez. What the fuck is he talking about? Big Bird.
Well, he hasn't fought in what, 2 years?
Yeah, he hasn't fought in 2 years. Yeah, but the one thing, he's had a lot of cancellations, withdrawals. But obviously, he's cutting down to 55. Maybe he was planning on cutting to 55.
He looked fine at the weigh-ins.
Oh yeah, he looked.
He didn't look like, oh, this guy's fucking huge for. Well,
dude, he was 154.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's 6 foot. I mean, he's a big guy for.
He's
55.
only 31. I mean, I don't really like that he doesn't have any LFA experience.
He does.
Oh, he's got the one fight. Okay.
He's got one win in the LFA.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on the money line and take an over.
Yeah, I'm still thinking of playing him, but I don't know. I'm probably gonna pass, honestly, because my initial thought was pass. I just I don't like his takedown defense and stuff. So
yeah, his get ups are pretty shit, right?
I don't like him against Lemos. I mean, I don't know. Lemos cannot be, to me, a better wrestler than fucking
Right.
Cody Steele. It doesn't.
That was fucking 5 years ago, though. That's
Oh,
the
he's
only
saying
thing.
it isn't a joke. What are you talking about? Pillow fight? There was
Yo,
a
you
pillow
didn't know Marcus Perez does pillow fights?
No.
Yeah, dude, it's a serious thing. They
Oh my god.
Perez has been doing the pillow fights for like a couple years.
I mean, when you say beast grinder at what do you mean beast grinder?
Beast grinder, that means he's like a really good grappler.
I mean, maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's a great wrestler, this Lemos guy, but yeah, maybe he has good jiu-jitsu and stuff. I don't know. I don't know too much about Lemos, to be honest. I really don't, but
I think the problem, another problem with this one is, that was 2019 and he could have improved quite a bit since then. You said he's a black belt.
He is. He's a black belt.
But yeah, he hasn't fought in 2.5 years. He hasn't faced a grappler who's probably as proactive and as good as Cody Steele. So I think there's a lot of questions going into this fight that you have to kind of take a guess on, which is why I don't want to pick a side.
He made me go back and look at the Wilker Lemos guy. This guy has a kickboxing background. What the fuck? Yeah, I'm like looking at all way back, and it looks like this guy's a kickboxer, not a grappler. Holy moly!
Well, he's got 6 wins by submission, so
yeah. I mean, maybe, yeah, but it's possible. Everything says Muay Thai in this thing. I've looked at a bunch of them. He trains at a Muay Thai gym, and yeah, I mean, it was just kind of a bad look, but
yeah.
Don't be fooled. He's a grappler, he said. Yeah, I didn't go into his tape, to be honest. I didn't look at Lemos' tapes. I don't know. I didn't go that deep. Yeah, let's move on. Main event, light heavyweight division. It is the 4-0 Navajo Stirling versus the 6-1 Philip Latu. That's my boy's good best friend. So shout out to him.
That's my girl's best friend, too.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that's my girl's best friend too.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
it's yours.
Okay. Yeah, no, good fight. As far as like, so what I will say is Navajo, how much short notice is this for him?
About 2 to 3 weeks, I think.
Okay. So I mean, obviously he's still in good shape. He's young and he's training all the time, I would assume. Latu was supposed to fight someone else. Let me try to pull. Sorry.
Latu was fighting the dude from Italy, Francisco Mazzeo.
Dude, that dude's a fucking fraud, bro. Latu is gonna fucking beat his ass, dude. That sucks, man, because I like that fight a lot more for Latu than this one. But I think Latu's being disrespected on the money line here. I think this line is pretty wide. It's definitely a dog or pass. I don't really get why you would be laying minus 250 on Navajo. He's on short notice. He's flying across the world. Latu has more experience than him. I know like a lot of his stuff isn't on Tapology, but he's got a shit ton more experience at the kickboxing level. He's obviously way better at light heavyweight than heavyweight. Navajo has fought pretty much only bums. So yeah, I like Latu in the over in this spot. Latu might be a little out of shape, like maybe he's not fucking jacked or anything, but his hands are fast. He's got really fast hands. His leg kicks are very good. I see this more of like a 50-50 fight, if anything. So yeah, I like Latu in the over. I don't really know how it's going to be finished, but it's going to be an exciting fight. It should be a banger. 2 kickboxers. Maybe it's the Adesanya City kickboxing hype going into this line, but I don't really understand it. I'm assuming you're kind of on the same page, right?
Yeah, it's dog or pass. I mean, I think people are going to just hammer. It's Dana White's Contender Series. What I've noticed week after week is these minus 270, 280 become fucking 500 by fight time. Literally, almost all the time. it's been happening week after week. They just blow out like crazy. And I'm not in a hurry to play Phil here. You know, I do kind of think this guy is more technical. Obviously, he's longer. He looks like a really good striker, but like I watched, there was a lot of like highlights of the Kai fight, the last one. But like this Sam Kai guy doesn't throw any fucking volume.
No, he's
probably remember him from PFL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't throw.
He fought Juan Adams, right?
Exactly. He's only looking for one big punch to land on you. That's it. It's not going to work against a long guy that's teeping you. He's jabbing you. That's all he. A lot of the highlights was him teeping, jabbing, just destroying him from the outside, and then he landed a big elbow in close. Latu, I think, needs to pressure. He cannot.
He does pressure, though. That's how he fights. Yes,
I know. And I think he needs to do that in this fight. He cannot sit on the outside and let this guy teep him and jab him, because he's very long, this Navajo guy. And he has, he has good technical striking. The thing that I haven't seen from Navajo is I haven't seen this motherfucker get hit. What happens when he gets hit in these fights? Like, I don't even know, because I honestly don't know if how he reacts to shots, and Sam Kai I didn't really see him landing in those highlights. And the one thing Latu will do is he'll come and throw hands, man. Like, he's going to throw big shots and look to take your head off, So it's kickboxer versus kickboxer. I don't think this fight's hitting the mat. I was looking to play like fight doesn't go. And one of them gets finished. But yeah, there's no way I'm laying minus 280, 275 all of a sudden on this guy because he's city kickboxing. Like, this guy's only been fighting MMA for 2 years. Like, I'm not going to trust this dude. Like, I don't know what happens when he gets fucking punched in the face with 4-ounce gloves. Like, the guys he's beating are absolute bums. The last guy he beat, or two fights ago, this Stu Dare guy was 37 years old. Didn't even look like he wanted to be in the ring to begin with. It was like complete quit job. He gets hit, like, wasn't even a big shot. He just quits. It was so weird. And I'm like, they're just trying to pump this guy up, this Navajo guy,
Yeah.
So,
I
don't know. For me, it's dog or pass. Phil has kind of changed his life, I guess, since like June, and he's been really dedicated to eating healthy outside of like fight camps as well.
I mean, I would hope you're a fucking pro athlete.
Yeah, and he's before you see him, he's fighting a heavyweight. He looks sloppy. He looked like in a lot better shape now. He's taking it more serious. So, yeah, for me, I lean him here, because there's just hype on this guy Navajo. I don't know what's gonna happen when he engages in a war. I mean, I've seen the dog in Latu. I have not seen the dog in this other guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't. It's kind of a guess. And if I'm going to guess, I rather take plus 220 instead of minus 280, So, yeah, I lean Latu here. I haven't bet it. It needs to, I just think it's going to blow out. Why
it'd be great. It'd be great is if Latu wins by submission.
I don't know if that happens, bro.
I mean, fucking city kickboxing grappling is terrible. And at least, I mean, not that
he won't grapple. He won't grapple.
No, he won't, but maybe he can get a club and sub.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's going to be like 20-1 probably.
Yeah. I would need 20, at least maybe 30-1.
You're not getting 30. Come on.
I mean, why not? Why not?
You might get 31. I don't think it happens.
I like overs, GTD, all those things.
GTD is not bad if you can get a good price. I don't even know what it is. I haven't looked.
The annoying thing about Dana White Contender Series is it's hard to get down on these fights, and the total, like, where am I gonna bet a total? Like,
yeah,
fucking DraftKings or FanDuel doesn't even have the totals out yet.
They'll have it like 2 hours before the fights. So stupid.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
I don't even bet anything like until the day of, because the lines get wrecked super easy because the market's so small. So yeah, I haven't even bet anything on this card. I usually wait until a day of and then just see.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a sketchy card. Mushroom, you want to parlay? Yeah. Okay, go parlay. Fucking Caliari, Musasa, Bulgari, Ottani, and Latu, and maybe it pays off huge. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This card is a little sketchy to me. It's been sketchy like a lot of these weeks, to be honest. So
well, that's why I mean, like you only had the one play last week where
yep.
you pick one side, and I think that's a good way to attack Contender Series is just, you know, one or two plays, whatever feels most confident, because there's a fair bit of guesswork in a lot of these matchups.
Yeah, we have to guess.
People want to pretend their edge is bigger than it actually is, and you know they're just making dart throws a lot of times, and I've done it before too. So I'm just trying to be more disciplined this year in Contender Series.
Yeah, you know, last week I think I kind of told myself I'm going to bet a guy that I think is very skilled. Like watching his tape, that Australian, I thought he was skilled everywhere.
Yeah, he was.
He had good gas tank. I thought he had good cardio. I thought he had good durability. So I'm like, you know what? At least I'm putting my money on a guy that I know has all these good attributes, right? If he loses, he loses. But I'm not going to – there was one week I put money on – I forgot who. It looked like a complete fraud. I'm like, why did I put my money on somebody that's, you know – that
the French guy?
I don't remember who it was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But, you know, at least I kind of said to myself, you know what? I'm going to put money on a guy that, you know, is skilled. You know, at the end of the day, he's very skilled. And I know he's going to probably go 15. He's tough, you know, and yeah, I mean, that's how I looked at it. And I thought that he was going to be the better striker in the matchup, but he turned out to be the better striker and grappler.
Well, crazy. I mean, that Gage guy's a dog, so
yeah, big time. A lot of people
you never want to lay juice, bro. You never want to lay juice against those junkyard dog type.
I didn't know he was that big of a dog, to be honest.
I would have played him too if I knew, but yeah, it is what it is. I mean, that guy was good. I mean, maybe I think the price was about right because he won 2-1. He, I don't know, maybe he should have been 2-1 price.
They gave him 130.27. I didn't agree with it because I think, well, that one round where he got hurt at the end of the round, he was actually dominating. That was the round where he flattened him out.
But it looked like he was slowing down too.
Yeah, but that was the round where he flattened him out and he was pounding on him too at the beginning of the round. So I guess one judge gave him 30.27. The other one's 29.28.
I disagree with the 30.27.
Me too. I had a 29.28.
Yeah.
And that
I was impressed. What I was most impressed with his ability to dig deep and win that third round when the momentum had clearly shifted.
It looked great in round 3, bro.
He's a good prospect.
Yeah. All right, brother.
Yeah, I don't have any props. Mushroom was asking for props. I don't have any props yet. I'm gonna look tomorrow just because FanDuel or DraftKings hasn't released anything yet. So I don't want the bet online ones to get hammered. So I'm just gonna chill.
Shit on the domestics.
Yeah. What?
All right, brother. Thanks for joining. You got anything else?
No, not for this card. I'm excited. I'm excited for UFC Noche. So
yeah, I just started my tape study today with Noche, and yeah, it's looking like going to be I might have a big card actually for Noche. We'll see.
I've got a few bets already.
Yeah, I got none, but I'm looking to attack one already, but I'm waiting. All right.
Hopefully we can grab a unit on Tuesday and carry that over.
Yeah, exactly. That would be
LFA.
Bellator, right?
Kendra McIntyre fight week for me.
Isn't there Bellator as well? Yeah, there's Bellator.
Yeah, Bellator London.
All right, brother. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you. Guys, give him a follow. Pepe Silva on Twitter. Thank you to everybody. 291 in here. Appreciate you guys. Hit the like, subscribe. Yeah, and good luck tomorrow. And let's cash some tickets for Dana White's Contender Series Week 5. Peace.